Boys and girls, finally, it's time for me to finish the little bit that's left from chapter 11, and then I'll go on and read chapter 12. But before I continue, I want to read the last paragraph, just as a little review, when Libby was in the middle of the second act. Libby came on in the middle of the second act. She sang her song very loud, and when she was done, the audience clapped for her. I guess sometimes it is better to sing loud and be heard than to sing very nicely like Marianne, who nobody could hear but me and Mouse. Hearing Libby sing so loud seemed to make Marianne forget her lines, because she just stood there and didn't say anything. Finally, I whispered to her the next line to help her remember. When she didn't say anything, I said her lines for her. I don't know if the audience noticed this or not, because Marianne did move her lips. I said her lines for her all during that act. Libby looked over at me once and made a terrible face, but Marianne needed me. What else could I do? Mouse was laughing all this time, and neither one of us remembered about holding up the archway. So the next time Russ ran through it, it fell to the side. But don't think we ruined the play, like Libby says, because we managed to get it up again in just a few seconds. All in all, I think it was a very successful show, even though Libby says she is never speaking to me again. I wonder why Libby was so upset with Mouse. I'm going to write that down on my reader's log. What are you wondering about? Are you remembering everything that happened in the chapter? I also remember that Libby is spending most of her time at the beginning of chapter 11 reading books, hoping to learn how to help Jennifer have her puppies when they are born. If you notice on your reading log sheet, I wrote that I was wondering how hard it will be for Libby to say goodbye to Jennifer when the family has to go back to New York City. What are you wondering about? You can write your thoughts down on the reading log sheet that you took home in your homework folder today. Let me go on to continue reading chapter 12. I am down to 3 swimming lessons a week. Marty says I am ready to learn to put my face in the water because there is nothing else he can teach me until I do. I told him I can't put my face in the water, and there is a very good reason why I can't, which you don't even know about. I'm listening, Marty said. What's your reason? Something very important that you probably never even considered. Well, you really want to know my reason? I'm waiting, Marty said. Okay, I'll tell you. The reason I cannot possibly put my face in the water of this pool is that I am scared. Sheila, Marty practically shouted, I'm proud of you. You are? Yes. Do you realize this is the first time you've been honest with me? Marty asked. It is? Yes, it is. You finally admitted it. You are scared. That's the first step in the right direction. From now on, everything will be a snap. Marty jumped into the pool. Come on, Sheila. I want to show you something. I walked down the steps and stood next to him. Watch this, Marty said, putting his face in the water. Big bubbles came to the surface. He turned his head to the side and took a breath. Then he stuck it back in and blew some more bubbles. He did that 10 times. He made it look easy. When he was done, I clapped my hands. That was very good, Marty, I said. Okay, wise guy. Now let's see you do it. I can't. I'm too scared. I'll hold your hand. I looked at Marty, and thought about what my mother told me, that if I can't swim with my face in the water by the end of the summer, Marty will give back all the money from my swimming lessons. I hate to think of Marty having a hard time because of me, but he never should have made such a silly deal with Mom. Please, Sheila, Marty said, give it a try. Oh, all right, I said, grabbing Marty's hand. I put my face down into the water. I nearly choked to death. Marty had to whack me on the back until I stopped coughing. What were you supposed to do, Sheila? He said. I was supposed to blow bubbles, I answered. And did you? No, I breathed regular. And what did you find out? That I can't breathe regular in the water. That's right, Marty said. So let's try again. And this time take a breath first and then blow it out. Okay. I took a breath, but I started to laugh. Sometimes I do that when I'm really scared, and nothing stops me from laughing. Nothing. I laugh until my side feels as if it is going to split open. Usually I wind up with bad hiccups. Sheila, Sheila, Marty said, what am I going to do with you? You're impossible. I told you I was, didn't I? I giggled. I should have believed you, Marty said. Calm down now. Let's get to work. I'm wondering if there's anything that makes you really laugh a lot. You can write it down so I can read about it if you want. I'm calm. I'm calm, I told him. I took a big breath and put my face into the water. I think Marty was yelling something at me, but I don't know what. When I felt ready to explode, I lifted my face and said, well, how was that? You forgot to let it out, Sheila. Let what out? The air. You took a big breath, but then you didn't let it out. Oh, I knew something was wrong. I took a bigger breath, put my face in the water, and blew out. I made bubbles, just like Marty. I lifted my head and smiled. That's it, Marty shouted. You did it. You really did it. I did, didn't I? I could hardly believe it myself. I really did do it. Yes, and now I want you to try it 10 times in a row. Oh, Marty, do I have to? Isn't just once enough? Marty shook his head. I took a breath and I did what he told me. I blew very nice bubbles. Then I turned my head to the side, took another breath, and put my face back into the water. I did this 4 times before I forgot to blow the air out. That time I think I breathed in while my face was under the water. I wound up with a mouthful. Then I stopped coughing. When I stopped coughing, I gasped. No more, please, no more. Don't make me do it again. I climbed out of the pool and ran for a towel. The chlorine really stings my eyes. The chlorine, boys and girls, is the chemical they put into the swimming pool to keep the water clean. Marty followed me. Okay, Sheila, that's it for today. But I want you to practice swimming with your face in the water. I'm going to give you the beginner's swimming test before the end of the summer. I think you'll be able to pass it. Me? Me pass a swimming test? I asked. Yes, you. I always knew Marty was sick. That's the end of chapter 12. Let's see if I can squeeze in a little bit more of chapter 13. I'm going to have a slumber party. Do you know what a slumber party is? Of course, if you guessed slumber party means a sleepover, you're right. I've never had one, Sheila thought. How could I when I have shared a room with Libby all my life? I just can't wait until Saturday night. Mouse, Sandra, and Jane are coming, and Mom says we can all sleep in my room if my friends bring sleeping bags with them. I even have new pajamas to wear. They are red and white striped. Mouse has the same ones. She promised to wear them so we can be twins like Sandra and Jane. My slumber party is going to be the best slumber party that ever was. Since I have been planning everything so carefully, I got really sore at Libby this morning when she told Mom, I'm going to invite Marianne Markham to sleep over Saturday night. Oh, no, I said. You know I'm having a slumber party. So, Libby said, who wants to get in your way? That's not fair, I said to Mom. Can't I do something just once without her butting in? There's plenty of room, Sheila, Mom said. If Libby wants Marianne to spend the night, there's no reason why she can't. It has nothing to do with you. They'll try to boss us around, I cried, just like always. Ha, Libby said. Nobody's going to spoil your party, Mom told me. I promise. I don't see why she can't spend the night at Mary Ann's house instead, I said. Because Mary Ann's parents are going out, and her mother doesn't want us to stay alone, Libby said. Otherwise I would in a second. Just know they will ruin everything. What do you think, boys and girls? Do you think that Mary Ann and Libby are going to ruin Sheila's party? Let's see. On Saturday, Mary Ann ate supper with us, so she was already there when my friends rang the bell. But she and my sister were locked up in Libby's room listening to music, and I hoped that's where they would stay for the rest of the night. After Mouse, Sandra, and Jane said hello to Daddy and Mom, I took them up to my room and we spread out their sleeping bags. Sandra's and Jane's are the same. There is a picture of Snoopy on the front, zippers down the sides, and red flannel linings. Mouse brought a regular sleeping bag, the kind you use when you go camping. She said the last time she slept outside, she woke up with a frog inside her bag. But since she likes frogs, she didn't mind. I would much rather sleep in a sleeping bag indoors than out.